So happy Saturday, everyone. And I'm joining from my brother's home in Jaipur, which is 200 miles west of Delhi in India. Um, so let's start with, a little bit of revisiting the overview, and then we'll talk a little more about resilience, and maybe afterwards, then go into meditation, and we can talk a little more about thoughts, comments on the topic. So basically, I have been thinking about, the significance of embodying transcendental energy. Um, Conscious, uplifting, positive energy. People who are able to do that, they, uplift themselves, uplift their environment, people around them, as well as operate at a higher level. So to embody transcendental energy is satsang. And trying to get to that embodied state is the core meditation we do here. Part of the topic today is that Guru Maharaj talked about do not search for this energy or this the ocean of peace outside in the world that's constantly changing. That is all within. So a few minutes later, we'll talk about that. And then, as we have all seen, the group and the collective energy, the support of the group, the energy of the group, when like-minded people come together, it becomes a support system of its own. So that's the group aspect of satsang. And then, the resultant factor is the joy and inner happiness. So today, like next Saturday, we'll be right in the middle of the wedding celebrations here. But I'm not canceling it. I want to be there. Maybe we'll have a short session or something, or I'll ask Juan to play some video, and we'll have we'll try to have a session next Saturday. So the topic, talking about resilience, the capacity not only to endure great challenges, but get stronger in the midst of them. And as we were discussing just now, we tend to seek strength in the wrong place. We look outwards towards possessions, positions, and praise, when the real source of resilience is within. So, I think we need to kind of reset or redefine resilience for ourselves. Modern psychology defines it as the ability to adapt and recover from adversity, but spirituality talks about how to remain untouched even in the midst of storms. So in satsang, resilience is not just bouncing back, it is rising above, returning not to where we were, but to where our soul truly belongs. And that is, with that state where we are embodying the transcendental energy. So material success doesn't give us peace, joy, or this embodiment of power and strength through embodying this transcendental energy. It only increases our desire. So material success only leads to, trying to get more of that. And true strength lies in inner balance, in learning to live in the world without being owned by it. And some part of that, I think we have touched upon, some level of detachment needs to be part of this, because, when we get entangled in the uh, processes, results, uh, and that just gets us caught up rather than rise above. So vertical growth, we talked about that recently. Um, so resilience begins as the power to survive. It matures into, you know, the ability to stay above, on higher grounds, and become, detached, somewhat detached from, you know, things that are, pulling you down. The more we live from the center, the less the world can shake us. Um, let us not merely endure life storms, let us become the calm within them. That was, part of one of the articles on Substack as well. So on that note, practice to be like that, to embody this transcendental energy. So eyes lightly closed. And still and relaxed posture. And then, I think the core piece here is that we feel the presence, feel that a conscious source of this transcendental energy is not far, right here, right now, in front of us. And this transcendental energy in form of light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming one with this energy, with this light. So we're becoming the light. If, you know, uh, mind wanders away, which will, it's natural, just bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that this transcendental energy in form of light is entering our heart, enlightening it, and then distributing throughout the body, and we're getting completely and totally immersed in it. We'll start with music that helps concentration. Then we'll go deep into the silent meditation on transcendental light, and then we transition out with music again. Start. All right. So any thoughts, questions, comments before we wrap up?
Well, I just want to say happy Saturday. It's been a few weeks that I haven't been able to attend because of different things I had to do. But, um, as always, I appreciate our talks and our meditations. It was particularly helpful today. I've been actually setting aside a little bit of time every day to meditate now, which is great, actually. And I try to do it sort of in the style, like with the music, the style that we do it in a way. I do it with like
Mhm.
different music, but I'll lead with a song, like a sort of faith-based music,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then I do like 5 minutes meditation, but I do it twice. Like I do it at the beginning of something and then at the end. So it's like really a 10 minute. So it's actually been very helpful. It's been extremely helpful because at this moment in my life, I'm experiencing a whirlwind of change and upheaval, but I feel calm because I think because of meditation. And I have facing before me potential decisions that are kind of like life changing. So I do actually think the meditation helps. I do feel grounded um, in a way that maybe like I don't know a few years ago I wouldn't have been. So definitely as a testament to the power of meditation. But yeah, it's great to meditate with you all as always.
Yeah. I think originally, the format that traditionally we have, there will be like a traditional devotional song, and then there is a discourse or a discussion, then there are prayers um, before the meditation. So prayers we have converted to music, and a couple of things I've kind of eventually I think I'll add them here as well in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, no, this is great. I actually two things are running in my head, like how can I help build a more individual, consistent, deeper practice? What can I do to do that? So we've been thinking about the course, thinking about even coaching, so on and so forth. And and yeah, and you know, and another thing that's running through my head is more about how to get to more in person and lose, I mean, eh, we have had a couple of those opportunities, and I think in person is definitely, charges you more, don't you think?
Um, I think I I don't know if I would say in particular that it charges me more. It's just a different energy or a different feel. Um, meditating solo, meditating in the woods, meditating virtually with a group, meditating in person with a group. They're all going to have different feels
Yeah.
and energies, but it's a really great way to be communal. So, in that sense, I do really like it. I do like in-person meditation also with a group. Um,
So you don't see that in all those four or five things you described, there is a difference in the level of energy slash how uh, you know um, like the effect of those is very similar, all of those?
I mean, to be honest with you, I can deeply meditate in any of those ways. So personally, no, but they're all different. They all have a different flavor. They all have
So,
a different energy for me.
hmm,
But maybe it's just because I've been meditating for quite some time and I just know how to get into that. I don't know.
mode.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I can still access that energy that allows me to deeply feel the meditation wherever and whomever
Yeah,
and however.
I'll have to do an experiment with you when there are a couple of hundred people, and if you meditate there, how that feels versus the rest. But I mean, see, what you're describing is the ideal state, though, where, you know, yes, style is different, but you get in the right state. So that's perfect.
You mentioned meditating in a group of hundreds. I imagine that would be different, and I only say that because I did experience something akin to that. Over the summer, I went to the Wolf Trap. I'll just tell you a brief story, just because perhaps it does affirm what you're saying. And there was a British artist, lovely person, very artistic, very talented. And apart from his music, he does something interesting in his shows. What he does is he stops performing, turns to the audience, and turns them into performers by making them him, and he will direct the tonality with his hands. So if he wants you to go high, he'll like raise his hands and we all, him high. If he wants you to go low, he'll direct his hands and we'll all go low. But that was extremely meditative, actually. I mean, I was in a crowd of maybe like 800 people,
Yeah, yeah.
500, I don't know. And it was outside, and we were only, singing a hymn, and it was just using our voice.
Mhm.
Right? Like we weren't
That
singing
that
words. It was amazing. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that I really absolutely felt very almost in a state of grace, like it was like
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think I have felt similar things in like large gatherings and satsang as well. So that's why, yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Namaskar, Sangeeta ji. How are you? Hmm.
Namaskar, Bhaiya. She's my friend, Sujata. She's based in Dehradun.
Okay. Hello. Any
Pranam.
any questions? Any questions, thoughts, comments?
Uh, would like to know more about energies. You're just talking about energies, and it just so happened that we were discussing some time back. So if you could just guide us on that.
Actually, I'll send Sangeeta ji the three energies video. I think she has a link to that. So basically, I think in a way we all, like, even when I'm talking, it's a vibration, right? And in a sense, when there is vibration, there is like literally, like, peace would be there is no vibration, right? Now, then what is left? So that's one question. But then when you talk about energies, um, there is a description where there are three energies, one being the positive, uplifting energy,
Yeah.
the other extreme being the negative, you know, energy that pulls you down. And then there is one that kind of blends the two, and there is more action oriented state. So, what Maharishi Patanjali found was that there is a very fast moving negative energy stream, there is a slow moving upward positive stream, and the slow moving positive stream is very feeble in most people, and the negative one just plentiful. So the whole like Ashtanga yoga that he pulled together was like, how do we make this slow moving positive energy stream stronger? But then in Bhagavad Gita, there is description of these three energies, that only one of the three is strong at one time. So it's is dominant, but one is dominant of the three. Typically, what we call like material primarily in these other two streams. The not that strong, and that is not dominant. Sometimes at all. So it comes, but it's very, etc. So a lot of these sadhanas, satsang, and everything is more about how do we make the positive stream stronger. So satsang, I know I think my connection, I think Luz is saying that off and on, I think this stream is freezing because my connection is probably so, but that's the state of our connection to the positive energy as well. So what happens is that satsang is that positive stream, embodying that positive energy to a point that it becomes not just dominant, but like completely, for that time period of meditation. I call that transcendental energy because it transcends the world. You embody that, and that then starts having effect, that more periods of time during your days, you will have states when the positive is dominant. Now, the difference is like positive is refreshing, uplifting, etc., more peaceful, affects people. So when you are in that state, it affects people to be more peaceful, more positive, etc. Negative, you have seen every day, right? The blend is basically where movement is. So it could be upward movement affected by the positive energy, or negative or downward movement affected by the negative energy. That movement we can call passion, we can call ambition, we can call, like it's part of the race that we are in, but it's good and it could be bad. But so that's the blend. The interesting thing is that we say mind is the tool through which you can reach the highest points and you can go to the lowest points. Mind takes you either upwards or downwards. And that's the tool through which we do that. The energy that makes that effective is this, the blend, or so it's Sat, Raj, and so completely like, I don't want to do this, I'm not interested. You close your eyes in your meditation and it's like, oh, there is no light, there is no refreshing aspects, it's just dark. Happens. Guru Maharaj used to say that's why the meditators who meditate every day go through these phases in which there are times when they're like, wow, this was great meditation. Then there are times when it's like, oh, why do I meditate at all? And then there are times when you close your eyes, and this is for real. This actually happens, that you close your eyes and, a movie starts. And it's like takes you places you have not been, you have been, things that, and it's just almost like without any control, things are just running in your head. So my father used to say, just let it run like the wild horse. It will, the mind will tire down. And once it's tired, then you will be able to, regain control. So hope that helps.
Thank you so much. Actually, I've been joining your sessions on YouTube. Today, Sangeeta happened to be here. In fact, day before also, when the session was happening, I was there when you talked about meditating while walking. So that was also really nice. And I texted Sangeeta that today I just happened to be there when the session was on. So it was really nice. And I've been joining now. I'll start joining online.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, any time, any questions, any thoughts, comments, just share. And it's a practice that can go all the way through and through, because I have seen it personally. So I don't need anybody else to tell me, it's effective or not. I've seen it.
Yes, Priya.
But it's not everybody's cup of tea. That I also have seen, because
True. That's so true.
yeah, it's like actually lately I have met several people. They're like, oh, my folks never meditated ever. One of my very, very, very close friends I met in this India trip. And he's like, I have to be true to my ancestors. I'm like, what does that mean? It's like, they never meditated. Why should I? So I'm like, great. I have the flip side story. My ancestors were all like my entire family tree, my grandfather onwards, and then his lineage upwards. Gosh, they were like unlike anything that uh, this world has seen.
True, Bhaiya. They say when the time is right, you meet your guru. When you're ready, when you're in that state of readiness, I think that's when you come across, and then I think that takes you further.
Yeah, it's true for most of the things, that the receiving and giving is when you're ready, right? It's like uh, if and we talked about this concept called tawazzeh, or attention,
Ji.
and which is very fundamental to satsang as such. And it's like it's a two-way street that there is a give and take, unlike some of the other processes. So, to receive energy, you need to be in receiving state, and then there has to be some source. In a ways, in some sense, the source is always there, but we need to connect, we need to orient towards it, we need to be able to, so this whole transmission and receiving is actually very simple, but very complex at the same time.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure thing. All right. On that note, let's, meet again soon. And if there is anything else from anyone else, please raise your hand, but otherwise we'll be in satsang soon, and have a great day ahead. Love, light, and peace be with you. And, these conversations just convince me that at least we are doing the right thing for ourselves. Liz, what you just said, and Paula's conversations, and everyone is, see, it's like it's difficult to write what we experience in satsang because it's so individual and so, if you become joyful, what do you say? Okay, it's like, but this experience is the key. But anyway, so on that note, love, light, and peace be with you. Let's be in satsang soon. Have a great week ahead. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Namaste, Bhaiya. Bye, everyone.
Namaskar. Namaskar, Rajat, Ajita. Bye, Paula.
Namaskar, Bhaiya. Sabka namaskar.
Yeah, I had, thank you. Yeah, I had thought, Purvanji, but next time.
नमस्कार भैया सबको नमस्कार
Namaskar.
प्रणाम भैया आप सबको प्रणाम